watch The Nutty Professor?
Yes.
I'll think about it.
All right. Well, let's cheers to a good episode.
What you laughing at?
I'm laughing because I'm like, let's be all lovey-dovey before you get
That's why you laugh. Okay, good. I'm glad you
get
know.
to your Kevin Samuels bag.
All right, so cheers. Cheers to a good episode. Welcome to the Business of Love podcast.
Yes.
This is episode number we don't know, but we are just going to give y'all the title. This one is called Clearing the Air.
Yes.
We had a little issue. We was beefing right before we were supposed to launch the first episode. So I wanted to take this time. You're going to have to speak into your mic a little bit more. Like, yeah, you got to, like, angle it up or something.
Okay.
Let's get you right. Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Oh, perfect.
All right.
I just want to make sure it stayed.
Yeah.
Are we good?
Yeah. We ain't buy no cheap stuff. Clearing the air. So you want me to tell a story? Good, because I'm going to tell it anyway. So, tell y'all what happened, okay? Let me make sure
And I just want to say this.
Oh, my
I hope
goodness.
I hope that everybody is super appreciative of how transparent we are, because I know a lot of couples who would not have shared, things like this.
Well, here's the thing. We ain't a lot of couples. And the other thing is, too, I don't want everybody to think that we perfect. I don't want to lead with that foot of everybody thinking that we don't go through shit. Like, we don't be beefing or we don't have real-ass moments, because this was a real-ass moment. Like, and it's crazy, right? Because in hindsight, talking about it, it shouldn't have gotten to where it had gotten to, period. But it was a real-ass moment. And so I definitely want to share it, because vulnerability, number one, is what's going to allow us to connect with everybody. You know what I'm saying? And so if y'all, number one, let's just go here. This is a great time. Look, we finally did it. If y'all appreciate us being this vulnerable, do us a favor, like and subscribe. This is what we're supposed to say. Because,
and share.
Yeah, because now we're in YouTube land and we're supposed to ask for those things. So just do us a favor, actually do it, so you can let us know if that actually makes sense of us saying this stuff or not. But nah, for real, we are going to be a super transparent, super vulnerable, because also the particular reason why I wanted to share this situation is because, number one, we actually spoke about this in a previous episode. But number two, I know that it's something that I'm not the only individual that goes through this. I'm not the only man that deals with this. You're not the only woman that feels like that. So I think that it's cool for us to share kind of how we were able to get through it, right? And some of the things that I vocalized, and just being able to just be like, okay, look, let's really make sure that we add as much value as possible to everybody who is, tuning in and giving us their time and attention, because we appreciate that.
Yeah,
So
I agree.
again, this one is called Clearing the Air. So on or about one of these days last week, it was maybe Monday or Sunday, something like that.
Sunday.
It was Sunday. It was Sunday. I know, because I was doing a lot of onboarding for both my business, her business, our podcast.
And I was going grocery shopping.
And I was just doing you wanted to throw that in there so you can
I was saying,
sound
because
like...
that's Sundays. Like,
Oh, okay.
Sundays are that
Okay.
day.
Oh, all right. Okay.
So.
I thought you was throwing that in there because, like, this adds to my story.
Not really.
Okay, because it adds to my story because of the fact that I was doing so much of, like, trying to get things ready for us.
Right.
I was trying to get us prepared for a very big project that we got coming up, which we will talk about soon, which is the move. And then I was also trying to kind of onboard a process that would enable us to make this move a lot more seamless. So we would actually be able to do this move and still manage and maintain businesses without having to have any hiccups. So I am at my office where we are right now, Loft 9. And I'm working. I'm sweating. I am working my ass off. Okay, all right. I am pedal to the metal, putting it in. My business partner came in and was like, "Yo, what is going on? I feel like you were having a war council meeting in here right now. You were really getting to it." And I was. I definitely was. And so as I am grinding, my lovely girlfriend decides to call me what she does throughout the day, and we talking, and I'm letting her know what I have going on. But on this particular moment, my girlfriend likes to hit me with a question that says, in my DM, who is this? I'm so glad that you could laugh at this because...
I'm laughing because I know so many instances where people get hit with the who is this. So yeah, I say who is this?
Because ain't nothing funny about that shit.
No, I get it.
And so here's what makes it worse. Because I have an intelligent girlfriend. So my girlfriend decides to utilize some of my verbiage that I used on her prior to try to convince me that I didn't have no business in liking this person's pictures because of the image that we are trying to uphold and maintain and all of this nonsense. And so I had to go off and explain myself, which I hate doing, to my girlfriend about this woman who had no bearing in my day, my existence, my life, my knowledge. Is a close family friend, literally like a play cousin. Like if we can have a moment of honesty, here's the craziest part is like, when you brought her up, it wasn't until that moment that I had even considered. I was like, damn, I never even thought about her in that light. It wasn't until that moment that it hit me that I was like, wow, I never even tried to think about her as that type of person or get there. Like, that's when it struck me. And so the craziest thing about it is like women will bring up situations to men and it'll be like, yo, I wasn't even thinking about her in that light or aspect. And now I am because of you.
Listen,
yeah. Anyway, I'm venting.
Women like to ask questions.
And so, and what did we say in one of the first episodes? Don't ask a question that you don't want the answer to.
I wanted the answer.
And you got it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and look, this is the thing, right? I got the answer. I thought that was that. But, men have feelings too.
So here's the thing. Prior to, right, I had gotten the same question about a friend, someone who's literally just a friend, right? And so I realized that my girlfriend was utilizing this platform to play an investigator. She wasn't utilizing this platform to help us grow. Right? She wasn't trying to interact on this page with like seeing who people were so that they could possibly be interested in the show and making sure that she's following them back or no. She was utilizing this platform strictly to investigate the relationship that I had with other females.
Now, that's not true.
And how is that not true?
That's not true.
How did you even get to these women's page? How did you find them?
Because they popped up, and that's what happened.
You capping.
They popped up. I was not using the page to scour and see
you
who
capping because they commented and said things, and that's why you saw them. Keep it G.
I'm keeping it G, but I didn't use the podcast page for that.
Okay, you searched for it on your page, but what I'm saying though is if we would have never had this podcast.
But listen,
what I'm saying is if we would have never had this podcast thing, those particular individuals would have never popped up.
Correct.
Okay, and so that's what I'm saying when I say like instead of looking at the people who are popping up on the page and saying, yo, they could be potential viewers, you utilize that and say, well, who is this person and what is the connection to my man?
Not off rip though, and I will say this, once I saw the pages or the pages of interest, what sparked my interest was his like after like after like after like. Any girlfriend or somebody who's naturally curious, like, damn, who is this? Is gonna ask, hey, who is that? I never saw you mention them or whatever, but all 12 of their pictures got you under it. So I'm just curious as to who it is. I think in this particular case, and you didn't include this, the person of interest was half naked in every picture. And I just wanted to know, what's the connection? Because if I'm following a Chippendales dancer and liking all of their pictures of them half naked and jiggling, you going...
No, I'm not.
And that's the difference. No, that was the difference.
No, I'm not.
That was the difference.
I'm not.
But continue
and I'm not. And I'm not for multiple reasons. I'm not because the things that you like, that your thumb taps on a freaking phone don't register to me as you having any type of desire for that individual. It doesn't register to me as you giving that person attention. Because here's the thing. if that is attention, and you said that that person got less than 15 pages or pics on their shit, that means that I gave them less than 15 minutes of attention. So therefore for you, you're looking at it like you're giving them all of this attention when that could have literally been a 30-second thing that I did. Oh shit, look at my friend. I'm happy that she's no longer fat. Okay. I'm happy to see her winning and doing what she doing with her modeling thing or whatever the case may be. Mm-hmm. Bang, here's some support. Now that wasn't the case, and I'm being facetious by saying that, but all I'm saying is the ideology of like, oh, who is this person that you're giving attention to? That does not equate to me. That doesn't equate as far as you double tapping a picture and me thinking about that as being any type of attention.
So that's a very valid point, and I'm just going to pause there because I feel like that's the disconnect with a lot of couples, at least in my opinion. I've seen this exact thing happen. Keep talking. Yeah. I've seen this exact thing happen over and over again, where as women, we're like, why the hell are you liking all these pictures, or why do I see you in this person's likes so much? Like, you like them? Are they attractive to you? And then you have the guy who is like, that's not the case at all. Like, I've known this person since I was wee high or whatever. There needs to be, in my opinion, a conversation because clearly there can be disconnects.
I definitely think that there can be disconnects. So, but my biggest issue was the fact that this isn't the first time or the second time. It had happened before.
In our situation, yes.
Correct. And you know that this is a pet peeve of mine. You know that this is a non-negotiable of mine, and not because I'm a man who, I just don't feel like dealing with this, but because I am a man who utilizes social media in a way that this is a platform for content creation for me. Mm-hmm. And so this isn't a connection platform for me. This isn't where I go to have connections with other human beings. This is, well, in a sense, yes, but not that general kind of connection. This is where I go to make sure that I can add value and do things like that. So in the way in which I utilize social media, and especially with doing it for us and doing things that are, creating platforms for the both of us, I felt it just to be totally inappropriate, both on timing and on perspective aspect, as far as like knowing who I am and what I use this platform for. Coming to me about things about this platform are going to be ill-advised and very asinine and just not taken very well, because I don't appreciate this platform for the same aspects that other people do. Mm-hmm. And so when you ask me to explain myself on this platform, knowing my usage for this platform, it really rubs me and sends me into a space that makes me feel as though I'm not doing my job to secure you in our relationship.
Okay.
And so that's what we went through, and it was extremely detrimental to the productivity. And it was extremely detrimental to part of my ego, because again, I felt like damn, am I not securing you enough that because it was almost 2 times in like a week. Mm-hmm. So it was really like, yo, like what's going on? Like what is giving you the desire to ask me about me liking pictures when you know for a fact that there isn't a single woman on this earth that has my attention the way that you have it? Mm-hmm. And so it's like, if I'm giving you all of that and I'm doing all that, why am I still being subject to the questions of lesser importance? Mm-hmm. Like, if I'm giving you everything I got, why are you questioning me about things that are of lesser importance? The other thing for me, right, and this is another arguing aspect, is like, yo, if I'm a good ass man and I'm a good ass dude to you, I feel like I should be granted the grace to be able to like whatever pictures I like, as long as I'm not violating or disrespecting you in any way, shape, or form. And the crazier part is, you sent me something one time that said, like what you like, but once you start leaving heart eyes and comments, it's a problem. And so I agree with that. I understand that. Like, yeah, 100%. Because, and the reason why I say like what you like is because, again, right, if you've ever unliked a picture, you don't have the right to be mad at someone for liking a picture because it means that subconsciously you hit that same button and you did not mean to. So you got to give everybody else the grace to say, yo, they probably just hit the button subconsciously. Because now, with the way in which social media is derived, that heart, if you notice, that heart is across every platform. No matter what platform you use, when you double tap something, it gives you a heart. That's on both Tinder, that's on Instagram, that's on TikTok, that's on Facebook. But you just said it.
It's all across platforms, right? And it's different meanings. This is my whole thing, and I'm going to speak for a lot of women when I say this. I feel as though when it comes to the liking of pictures, depending on the type of content it is, it can be deemed as inappropriate. And I simply was telling him in that time, that moment, the pictures and videos that I see you liking on this profile are very inappropriate, and I don't think it's in good taste, being that we're launching this podcast that's discussing relationships, couples, and all the stuff that couples go through. So that was my take on it. I didn't expect him to,
See, but the problem with that is that's the same thing as me saying you shouldn't be on Justin LeBoy's page liking some of the posts that I may disagree with because people might see it and be like, well, this doesn't go with that,
right,
or whatever. And so to me, that was some bullshit.
Yeah. And again, this is why conversations are important and not just going back and forth, beefing and arguing, is because in the midst of going back and forth, I began to understand his point a little clearer. And I began to say, okay, I see why you feel like that. It wasn't just, oh, you shouldn't do this because X, Y, Z. He actually brought that point up. Like some of the things that you post and that you say, I don't agree with. And I don't think some of our following or followers would agree with it either. So, what's the validity in what you're saying? So I get it.
The other thing is, and then because I'm Petty Murphy, the next day, because I couldn't sleep that night, right? So here's what happened. We had the beef. She sent me something in DMs. We went back and forth in messages. I wasn't feeling good. I was kicking it with my homie, my business partner. He basically told me let it go, and I was like, word, not gonna let it go. I should have let it go, but I couldn't let it go. Because he was like, you're gonna lose in the end, and I was like, I don't care. I don't give a damn. And I was like, it is what it is. So it was still on my brain. And so this is why I actually wanted to have this topic too, is because without having the conversation, resentment starts to grow. Mm-hmm. And so that's something very important that I feel like we do as a couple. We can have the difficult conversations. Mm-hmm. This one got a little bit more emotionally controlled, right? Like the conversation was a bit more emotional than logical. Mm-hmm. And it was my fault, largely my fault, because I couldn't sleep that night, so I came home, right? And then, we barely spoke. I came home late. I stayed in the office till late. The crazy thing is, I was already working on something that would have kept me in the office late anyway. Yeah. Right? But then, because you added that on to it, I definitely wasn't coming home. Because
Which is something I already knew. I was like, yeah, probably not going to see you.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm not even coming home tonight till late because I don't feel like dealing with none of this or whatever the case may be. My fault again, avoiding the conversation that we should have had right then and there. Mm-hmm. Right? But I come home, she pretty much sleep. No matter you were asleep, you was knocked out because I got in the bed and you was like I was in the bed, out the bed. Probably 30 minutes later, you was like, you just got here? I'm like, yup. I had been there, but I was like, yeah, I just got here. What's up? Like, so you didn't care. You went right back to sleep. It was like, oh.
Yeah, I was in and out.
So I couldn't sleep. So I woke up dumb early. I left. Mm-hmm. Didn't say bye. Didn't say nothing. All right, real petty. Very petty of me, but I came straight to the office, and I started working, but then I went back to being petty. And so I went on her Instagram, and just started following random dudes that she was following and just screenshot like 15 of them and was just sending them to her like,
who was this?
15. Who is this? Who is this? Who is this? Now, fellas, let me explain something to y'all, okay? Let me explain something to y'all. When you think that you are on a run, when you think like, yo, I got her in a corner, you feel me? I'm about to really put it on her on this one. Who is this? Who is this? Who is that? When a woman says, "Are you done?" through text, but you hear it in your brain, you didn't win. So she said, "Are you done?" And I said, "Let me go screenshot some more
You
dudes."
said no. I actually got some more.
Yeah, because obviously she got an answer for all of these dudes that she's following.
I'm
so
like, he used to talk to my friend.
Yo.
Don't know this one, but
yeah,
you got some more? Like,
yeah. So I came with some more. I was like, "Who is this? Who is that?" And then
half these people I didn't even follow back. I'm like, I don't even know who this is.
No, you were following them, but I did that. I did that to prove a point, and it was a pointless point. So there was nothing proven, right? But the point that I was trying to make was like, yo, if we continue to use these social media platforms to try to look to potential reasons for jealousy or potential reasons for, rifts in our relationship, we can always find them.
Mm-hmm.
Like we can always find a reason to utilize social media as an excuse to cause imbalances in our relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And so to me, it was like, yo, if I'm gonna be choosing to be better, then you have to choose to be better too. Mm-hmm. Like we can't succumb to the pressures of any type of social media validation or any type of social media as a real connection, right? Like it's so crazy to me because if you look at the amount of people that I follow or that follow me, but then if you think about, we had this conversation the other day about like who would be invited to the wedding guest list. I was like, hey, you done met most of my family, like the people that I consider family.
Yeah, consider family.
Right? So it's like, because the people who I have a real connection with, we connect offline. Mm-hmm. Like, you know what I'm saying? We texting, we're talking about stuff in my phone. And that's why I created the tribe the way that I created it. Because I wanted to narrow out the people who really wanted that connection with me, that really want to build. Because I want to be able to do business with these people. And I want to look at these people as resources and vice versa. So for me, the way in which I use social media is a little bit different. I'm not saying that you have to abide by my mentality with it, but if you know that about me, can you give me some grace? Secondly, again, and this is what I was going to for all other men who don't use social media like this, if I'm a good dude and I'm doing what I got to do and I'm not doing anything disrespectful to you, if you don't have a problem with me watching porn, then you shouldn't have a problem with me liking a post.
50-50 on that.
Because here's the thing, right? I don't really have control. Like, you should have more of a problem with me liking porn than you should have me liking posts, because I don't have no control over what comes on my timeline. I do, because I can filter it out, whatever the case may be. But what I'm just saying, though, is like, I can't tell someone else what to post or what not to post. And me following that person automatically invites them and their content to be a part of my feed. So me double tapping that doesn't mean that I was searching for that. Whereas opposed to porn, I'm actually having a desire to go search to see something of sexual nature.
But I'm going to stop you there because this is the difference. And again, speaking for a lot of women on this, and this is how we feel. And I'm going to separate it because, again, you use your social media for other purposes. When it comes to the guy who just has his Instagram and he's using it to look at cars and, different stuff, whatever he wants to look at. When you have someone that you're following on purpose, the pictures that you're liking on purpose of this person, and again, the person that you follow, and they're not a celebrity, they're Jane from next door. You're liking their content. You are opening a door, so to speak. If this girl is like, oh, he liking all my pictures, let me see what's up. He don't post nothing to his chick, or hell, he might be posting pictures of his girlfriend. A lot of people don't care. What I'm saying is you are opening a portal to that if you're constantly liking, constantly showing attention to this profile. And with porn, you're looking at a video for whoever. Don't even know who the girl is. Doesn't matter. But you're looking at the video, you're done. You're liking these pictures, possibly creating a conversation, possibly creating whatever.
See, the problem that I have with what you stated was like on purpose. Like, you're liking these pics on purpose. And I'm telling you right now, I think that what you are missing is how much of the things that come onto our social media feed is a subconscious thing. If we told everybody about what pops up on your TikTok feed, right?
Uh-huh.
The people would start to question you. If everybody could see your TikTok feed, people would have a lot of questions, no?
They would.
Okay.
But again, it's a TikTok feed, so it's curated by
my
what I've
goodness.
probably seen once,
Oh,
liked
my
once,
goodness.
and now it's showing me the whole variety of it.
Basically, what I'm saying, though, is that these things they've been re-engineered to feed us things that they know that we will like. As a man, there's no man that's not gonna like, nudity, sexuality, things of that nature, whatever the case may be. So the intent is not there. The on purpose for me is like, it's on purpose if I'm on my Finsta.
Exactly.
Then it's on purpose. But if
Exactly.
I'm on my feed, I'm literally just liking stuff from people that I know or have a relationship with or whatever the case may be. So I'm not really comfortable with that on purpose terminology. The other thing, excuse me, see, this is why when we be doing this, we be drinking and then I be burping I be editing the episodes. So I be looking back like, yo, I be gassy. But anyway, the other aspect of it, for me is like, see, if I'm liking posts on Rihanna's page all day long, you probably have no problem with that because you think that I have no shot at getting with her. See,
I know that she's a celebrity crush.
And I'm not saying you and I'm just saying anybody. I'm saying regardless of what it is, right? You have no problem when it's somebody who you feel is outside of my purview or league or whatever. There's no threat there because you said that like, oh, you liking all of these pics. It's an invite for them to do something. Like, yo, I've been liking all the Rihanna pics since the day she posted. She ain't jumped in my DMs yet.
Because you're a part of a group of about 10 million other men who's doing the same thing.
There's other women who are the same way. Like liking a bunch of pics does not make some chick all of a sudden say now she's gonna shoot her shot at some dude.
I wanna add something here too, because I feel like there's this big narrative that the girlfriends or women, period, who have an issue with the whole liking thing, they're automatically deemed as insecure or jealous. I will say this. It has nothing to do with insecurity. And I saw a thread on Twitter who they pretty much addressed this. It was a bunch of girls because they was going through, now I don't agree with this part because you're just gonna hurt yourself, but they was going through their men's likes on Twitter. So you know how you go to the like section and you can see everything that they're liking. Pretty much it was just constant, girls, nudity, shaking they butt, whatever. And they was just like, I can't believe this is all he like. He don't even like no sneakers, no food. Like, he just liking girls. And they was just like, how do y'all feel about this? Like, let's have a discussion. And pretty much a majority of the girls were saying, I don't feel insecure about what you're liking. I just feel like, damn, why do I have to constantly see your likes and it's a porn hub? Like, you don't even show me this much. And I'm not saying this is you, because you like all my stuff. But they were just saying, you don't even give me this much attention. So sometimes it's not insecurity. It's just like, damn, if you're not even doing your job with me, how dare you give all this attention to somebody else? So that's one take on it. And then again, a lot of women just don't even want you doing all that. Like, why are you liking all these damn pictures anyway of these girls? Like, no.
So let's break down why I do feel like that is insecurity. Because anytime that you are comparing someone else and what someone else is getting to what you have or what you feel like you deserve, you are creating based off of insecurities. Because in your eyes, you start to look at like, well, why is it that you like that and not me? Or what is it about that you like that I don't have? She's butt naked and shaking her ass. I don't do that. And you're saying that you like that, then you don't like me because I'm not like that. So how could you like me and like that? And the reason why that is insecure is because if you are secure in what you have, then you don't need to compare that to that. I like you because I love you. I like that because as a man, I am designed, I am driven, I am physically built to appreciate those things. It has nothing to do with you. That be the thing. And see, that's where it's like where the insecurity is at, is because the things that I like have nothing to do with you. As a matter of fact, they ain't none of your business. I'm not looking at the stuff that you like unless I'm trying to buy you something, unless I'm trying to learn you more, unless I am trying to grow with you in a way in which I feel like that information can help me. Otherwise, that is your private information. Now, if you are out communicating based on these likes, that is something different, because now you are doing disrespectful actions to the relationship. But the things that you like have nothing to do with me.
Okay.
Just like she said, he ain't even liking no sneakers or whatever. You don't feel no threat by the sneakers. Here's the crazier part. What if every chick that he's liking is wearing a pair of sneakers that he likes? You don't know. All right. See, okay.
Cause you went a little too far.
I reached a little bit.
You reached.
All I'm saying is the things that we like in a picture are oftentimes based on us and have nothing to do with you. No man is looking at a picture and saying, I wish my girl did this. As a matter of fact, and this is why this is the I don't know how to even phrase this, because the only thing that I can say is like, this is where I feel like a bit of stupidity comes into play, because I know for a fact, me and my homies, when we do look at stuff like that, we do compare it to our girls, but not like y'all ain't never losing. Like literally, we will see a chick, like we will see something, some girl shaking her ass for whatever, show it to, we all chilling, smoking, show it to each other, and then literally be like, yo, but see, them be the type of girls that like I could never deal with because she got X, Y, and Z and blah, 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 and I can't stand this, that, and the third. Yo, I could never be with a, like, literally, these are, and that's why I get so fucking frustrated by this, because women do not give men the benefit of the doubt because you only see half of the story.
We don't know the other half.
It's not your business to know that first half. Y'all only knew the first half because you so nosy. Why are you going and looking at what a man is liking?
Listen.
Yo, like, no, y'all have to start giving men some type of room to be men.
We do, but we can't help it if we scrolling and all of a sudden.
You as women, you make it a problem to be men. Oftentimes, when it comes to social media and shit like that, women times often, especially in this new day and age.
Because think about it, how did we get got? How did we get got? Like, women think about it and say, okay, well, you got me off Instagram. You was liking pictures at first. We started off with a DM.
Okay.
That's where that comes from.
I understand that aspect, and touche, because that's a very good point. However, again, all right, well, I ain't even going to say however again, because this is actually a really good point, because if you bag her off Instagram and if you are doing some of the same things, I can definitely understand how that looks when it's like, yo, you got me.
I gotta represent for the ladies, because it's like he be trying to go and go and go, and I'm like, you gotta think about it. Like, it's not always that simple. The same way it's not simple for us to understand why y'all do certain things or to understand how y'all operate. We have our own complexities too. Again, conversations are important.
I understand that. I definitely do understand that, and I do agree that aspect of like, yo, if you're doing some of the same patterns, then it could look suggestive that you are trying to do some of the same things. That aspect I cannot argue against, because if a man has patterns and those patterns show and make you feel like he is doing something, then therefore I do feel like you should address it. However, have you ever felt like I was doing something that gave you the reasoning to address what you addressed?
In our argument?
Have you ever in your relationship with me felt like I was doing something that gave you the inkling to need to address what you addressed in the way that you addressed it?
No, I just had a question.
Then my point and my case is rested. Because if you know and you are secure, then it shouldn't matter. None of that shit should be relevant. Because to me, whatever you liking, it has no relevance or bearing on our relationship. Because whether you liked it or didn't like it, our relationship is going to be the same.
Okay.
Nothing's going to change about our relationship from you liking or not liking. As a matter of fact, if I try to tell you not to like that type of stuff, you will have a desire to go see it and find it more. I'm not going to try to tell you that's human nature. I'm not going to try to tell you that you can't have something, that you can't like this. I'm not going to try to tell you to fight human nature. When these devices are geared to drive your humanistic behaviors, I'm not going to sit here and try to tell you to fight the machine. No, baby. No. Like what you like. Just come back and put it on me when you done. I don't give a damn about none of this thumb tapping.
Sips to that.
You could thumb tap all day long. When it comes to real tapping, you know where we dancing at. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
But I had to sip on that one.
So back to this thing not creating resentment. See,
we a part-time comedian.
See, because we still venting. I'm still getting this out, right? Because
this is therapeutic for us.
So back to the story, right? Because here's now what happens. I then, after I, send her all of the who is this and who is that and who is this, I knew that didn't hit, right? That one didn't land. So I was like, you know what? Since you got such a problem with me and my social media, F this podcast. I ain't posting nothing about this podcast. So you can stop posting on the TBOL page. You are restricted. And I'ma block your mother. Now check this out. Right? Check this out.
That's the one that got me.
I know that's the one I know that's the one that did it. And here's the thing. I was bluffing, right? And the only reason I said it was because her mom was in my DMs, like, talking about a post, like, oh, y'all look so cute. And I wanted to respond, like, we ain't cute. I don't even rock with her like that, but I couldn't. So I was like, I'm just not going to respond. And I don't know what I'm going to say to her mom this whole time that we beefing. Like, me and you beefing. And I can't say nothing back to your mom. So the threat of blocking her mom is really what did it. I was like, yeah, I'm a...
Because I think what happened, he realized, like, after he was like, who's this? I'm like, okay, like, are you finished? And then he said, I'm going to just amp this up a little bit.
No, because I had already did that this morning. I had already restricted you in the morning because I was like, nah, I'm not dealing with this, yo. I'm not dealing with this. You're going to find out. Like, if we cannot manage, right, comfortably with having the freedom to do whatever we want to do on our social medias, as long as it's not deemed, we know our thresholds and our boundaries as far as, like, disrespect is concerned. As long as it's not something that's crossing those boundaries and we have that understanding, if you can't respect that aspect in nature, then we have to change to restrict some of the things that are causing you to, because again, now see what y'all thinking of is this was that one time when in fact it was not. It was the second time in a very recent time frame. So for me, that was really when I was like, yo, I've had it. Like, I've had it because this ain't the first, second, or third time that we've gone through this, and I've told you how I feel. And then now here you are back to back as soon as we start creating more content via social media. No, not playing this game with you. Like, if I got to restrict you in order for us to have peace, because that's all men want. All we want at the end of the day is peace. We don't want no beef and no turmoil and no nonsense. So if the beef, turmoil, and nonsense is coming from your brain because of things that you see on social media, let me just restrict what you can see on my social media. And I never thought that I would ever be the man to say that or agree to that or deal with that. And I told you that. And I was like, that's how you know I love you, because I'm going against the things that I say about myself. Because I would never, ever be in a relationship with somebody where I feel like I got to restrict you via social media. That's just not what I want to do. Right. That doesn't feel comfortable for me. And so the fact that I had even gone to that light had just shown me how much I was committed to this relationship. So everything else I was talking was fluff. Like, it was straight flood. No, I really wasn't going to do the podcast, though. I was like, no.
Yeah.
I would just come on here and explain to the people, like, yo, the podcast is over. We still got some growth levels that we got to hit in our relationship before we can, you know, try to profess to somebody else about it. But that's the thing that I love, is that we get to show our growth, right? Like, we get to show our progress and our problems and all of that stuff. And we come through it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We come out on the other side better than ever. And that's
Yeah.
why I feel like it's very important to, to have these conversations, because, you know, without these types of conversations, right, when we just kind of brush things under the rug and kind of just let it be what it is, and there's no clear definitive understanding, and just to get to the end, right, we did have a very good conversation. I called her up, I apologized, and I said, look, I overreacted, but here's why this is triggering to me, right? This is what I've been through in my past. This is my perspective. These are the things that I've told you prior to this, and these are the things that you've done that have triggered this reaction from me. Though it's my responsibility to handle my reaction, right? And so I apologize for that. Though that is my responsibility, here are your actions that caused a reaction. So you have to understand, mine is a reaction. So if I'm going to be responsible for my reaction, you got to be responsible for your actions. And so we did that. We had that moment. She put it on our relationship that, like, yo, we're not going to go through this again. And we was like, bet, let's do this. Let's, you know, we knuckled up, and then, you know, we produced the podcast. And so y'all got to see episode 1. But what we evaded or avoided was the possibility of resentment. Because now we also have bookmarks to go back to be like, because here's the thing, right? And I'm gonna just give you your flowers right now, because I'm gonna just tell y'all straight up, here's what I hate about being in a relationship with this woman. I will tell y'all straight up on all of these cameras, she is way too intelligent for
Says
me,
that all the time.
for me to like not that I would ever try to pull one over
Right.
on you, but like, I put it like this. Her intelligence becomes a problem for me because she'll use something that I said against me. That's a problem, y'all. Like, y'all don't understand that. Like, it sound cute.
And it's a compliment to him, because I'm like, hey, that's kind of good. I'm going to say that. But
It is not cool, because she's also sneaky, because she'll save it, just like she said, right? She ain't going to bring it up until it's like right on time. And then I'm sitting here like...
Something happened recently where I did that. I cannot think of it right now, but it was so funny.
But either way, though, you know, that's why it's so important for us to have these type of conversations, and for us to not brush things under the rug, because we are both very witty, right? So there's no telling when somebody might pull something out from under the rug. So that's why we can't have no dust under there.
Yes.
Because you don't never want somebody to be able to pull something from under there out of nowhere at a time when you're not expecting it.
Yes.
So when you clear everything out, you can't pull anything out on each other. Like, because we have a relationship where we hike on each other, whatever it is that you want to call it, and that's because I feel like, you know, the rest of the world is going to talk shit about you anyway, and they don't love you. So I'd much rather talk shit about you and have you talk shit about me, and it be the truth, right? And we know that we love each other.
Yes.
Because everybody else is out there talking shit. Like, why he wearing black and he that black? I don't know. This is what I put on. She was matching me. It's what happened. Anyway.
Oh my God.
But I'm just saying, so I do really appreciate that about us. And I'm so grateful to be able to be in a relationship where we can have those difficult moments, and then more so be vulnerable to share it with y'all. So if y'all could do us a favor and like, subscribe, and comment, I think that's how I'm supposed to say it.
Yeah, no, you got it. And
Okay.
of course, share with friends and family, couples that you know, or if you're in a relationship, just give us some feedback, because we honestly want to keep growing and better in the podcast.
Yes, and our relationship and our connections to business. So now, just to tie all of this into business, I think that this is also something that I've learned about myself, is that if I don't get it out, I'm building resentment on my own. And so I'm saying that in the sense of business, because I now have a business partner. And so there was a day in which, right, I felt like I was doing all of the heavy lifting.
Yep.
He was supposed to come in and do some things, and he never showed up, or whatever the case may be. And instead of me doing my job to hold him accountable, I allowed that to go without any type of venting, any type of like respondence or, you know, reconciliation, period. And it started to cause some resentment. And I realized that I do that to myself. and I'm doing myself a disservice by not communicating to the people who are the closest to me when they have wronged me, or when I feel wronged, right? Because it's not always like, hey, when it's people who love you, it's typically never intentional, right? It's always like, oh shit, I forgot, which is what happened. Like, because I spoke to him and I was like, yo, you said you was coming. He was like, oh, like he knew. He knew. It was like, damn, I did say that. My bad. And that could have been a very quick, yo, are you still coming today? Oh, I forgot. I'm on my way. And that would have avoided all of that. But I didn't take it upon myself to have the responsibility that I should have to communicate that. And so oftentimes in business, I feel like it is hugely important for communication that can avoid resentment. We may not always be aware of like situations that could cause resentment, which is why it's just better to have that open form of communication and to keep everything from going under the rug, period.
Yes, I agree. To add another point, people are human. I mean, that sound kind of like double, but yeah, I think individuals are human and they're going to make very human mistakes. So don't hold that, don't charge it to them super hard. Like, just be understanding. Yeah, definitely be understanding. And that goes with business as well. Because I've had situations where I get so pissed at a vendor because it's like, how could you forget this? And I'm like, wait a minute, you're working with about 50 of me or 100 of me, so you're not going to remember my individual request. So maybe I need to reiterate these things to you a bit more so that way we don't have any of these issues.
Damn.
That's my application to that.
I love that too, because you went through that in a very similar situation where somebody forgot to put your logo on some of your products. And, at first it was frustrating, but we just came up with the idea to just be like, those would be discount. You know what I'm saying? Those would be the discount ones, or whatever the case may be. Family and friends, like buy one, get one, whatever.
Yep. It's a solution to everything.
100%, as long as you have the right amount of communication.
Yes.
Yeah. I think that's a great way to close this out. This was a great episode. I appreciate everybody for letting me be able to vent. This was my vent episode, because I ain't gonna style. When we decided to put the podcast back on, I was like, oh, I'm talking about this.
Oh my gosh. I'm glad he was able to get that opportunity, though. This is really what it's all about.
100%. I thank you for giving me that opportunity first, right? I also thank you for being vulnerable enough to be here with me, because for me, this is easy. This is what I do. This is what I love to do, because I've already relinquished other people's opinions from having that much validation for me.
Right.
So it's easier for me to be as vulnerable and as candid, and it's cool because I think that it's bigger than me now. So it's like, it's not even fair for my opinion to be a part of it. So, but for you to be able to adapt that and to, add to this, I'm so grateful for that, and I'm grateful for you, and this is why we work so well together.
Yes, and I also wanted to remind both of us, like, this is so much that we have in store, right? That's why when we did have our little beefing, I'm just like, no, there's no way that we're gonna throw all this away, because it's just so much that's growing from this, and I think people are gonna be very, very surprised at what's next and what's to come. So
Yeah. So I'm gonna go unblock your mom. Just play.
Mama not blocked.
Nah, she was never blocked. She was never gonna be blocked. You was just the one that was restricted. I just knew that me saying that you was restricted, you wasn't gonna care. Like, you was like, all right, well, I'll just get another page and I'll do, like, I was like, I know that ain't gonna do it, so I gotta threaten her. I was
like, do you know I have 2 businesses?
Yeah, I knew.
From that one.
I knew, and I was like, I'm not even gonna sit here and be like, oh, I'm gonna block your business pages too. No, I'm gonna block your mama. That way she can say something to you.
Yeah, and that was like, we gotta tap into this real quick.
Checkmate. Anyway, it's the Business of Love podcast. We appreciate y'all. Like I said, like, subscribe, share, comment. Let us know how you felt about this. We do like interacting.
Yes.
So we both will be in on the comment section. And yeah, we appreciate y'all. Until the next one.
Yes.
Yeah, we out.
Cheers.